Today, I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Jude Thaddeus. Saint Jude was one of Jesus' 12 apostles and the patron saint of impossible causes. He was born in the 1st century AD in Galilee, a region of ancient Israel. He was the son of Cleophas, which made him a direct relative of Jesus Christ. As a young man, Saint Jude grew up in the Jewish faith, and he was likely working as a farmer or tradesman before he was called by Jesus. Later, he became one of Jesus' 12 apostles, who was chosen to spread the gospel and witness the miracles of Christ. He was often identified as Thaddeus to distinguish him from Judas Iscariot, the traitor. After Jesus' death and resurrection, St. Jude traveled far and wide, spreading Christianity in Judea, Samaria, Mesopotamia, Libya, and Persia. He preached with great power, performing miracles and converting many to Christianity. One of his most famous contributions is the Epistle of Jude, a short but powerful letter in the New Testament urging Christians to remain strong in their faith. Later, St. Jude's missionary work eventually led him to Persia, where he preached alongside Saint Simon the Zealot. Their success in converting people angered the local authorities, who saw Christianity as a threat. Around 65 AD, Jude and Simon were captured by the guards and were martyred in the city of Beirut in modern-day Lebanon. Some stories say they were beaten with a club and then beheaded, which made them both martyrs. After his martyrdom, St. Jude's body was buried in Beirut, where a basilica was built to honor his name. Later, when the invasion of Islamic tribes came, his body was brought from Beirut to Rome, where it was placed in a burial chamber. This chamber is placed under the altar of St. Joseph, located at the west wing of St. Peter's Basilica, which is visited by many devotees. One legendary story about St. Jude Thaddeus was that over time devotion to his name diminished. This was because his name was similar to Judas Iscariot, the betrayer of Christ. Many people avoided praying to him, fearing they might mistakenly invoke the wrong Judas. As a result, St. Jude was forgotten for centuries, making him a symbol of lost causes. One day, in the 12th century during the Middle Ages, a desperate man prayed to St. Jude Thaddeus for help. He totally believed that he would be a powerful intercessor because he was rarely invoked. Miraculously, the man's prayer was answered, and devotion to St. Jude began to grow. Since then, people in seemingly hopeless situations such as sickness, desperation in life, and the suffering turned to him for help and were answered. Today, St. Jude is one of the most popular saints worldwide, and he is celebrated as the patron saint of hopelessness or desperate causes and the impossible. His feast day is celebrated every 28th of October. If you like stories like this, follow, like, and subscribe.